Hello and welcome back to another fabulous video here on my channel. I'm Jacob from Jacob's Bookstore, and we're sitting in front of my TBR shelf. I have my phone since we're referencing it, and we have 32 books to talk about today, so let's talk about those books. And well, actually it's more than 32 because we read like 5 of these a month, and that is the Magic Treehouse, which I think I should start with. We have 18 through like 24, whatever, that we're probably reading this month. So these are things that will be popping up in my wrap up. I still love them. I'm having issues as we get further and further. I've never really realized the problematic material that is in it, and the fact that, I don't know, there's just certain things that have rubbed me the wrong way. But I've also read a lot of reviews for Magic Treehouse over the past like 7 hours. Don't ask me why. I kind of ran into a slump. And I don't believe, just like how I do not put a rating or like a review for Magic Treehouse up on my Goodreads page because I'm not the intended audience. I am reading these books because my little sister is obsessed with them and she loves them to death, and we read them every night. Well, most nights. But I'm not the intended audience, and we're not the intended, unless you're like, I would say 6, 5 to 8, we're probably going to be judging this differently. And I think there is the whole, oh, but if it's made for anybody, it's made for anybody type of thing. Like, I could recommend you 12 picture books that I think hit me harder as an adult than it did even when I was a child. But this is mainly aimed towards someone who's addicted to history and who's curious seeing about history and things like that, since these are really well researched books. So we say always have a book that's really well researched as well. I'm pretty sure it's like a tactic to buy more of these. But also, it's written for children. So these adults are rating it 1 star and complaining about whatever reason it is, plot or not. I think it's a little ridiculous, and I want to know you guys' opinions. I just need someone to talk to you about. Do you want to mention? I've already read one of these this month, so some of these books I have very strong opinions about because I've been reading a lot. Oh my gosh, that was this month as well. I'll have to try to remember to circle back around. Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about is Lucy Fowles' The Guest List. Now, I have finished this one. I did read it this month. I read it today, basically. But this follows, let me see if I can actually really describe this to you so you know exactly what you're going into. Because the back, if I'm just reading you the back, it's an exclusive wedding on Rhode Island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid, those are all the people you read from. That's why they're listed there. All have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. Here's the thing, I was also pitched this idea on Book of the Month, which is where this came from, that it was a whodunit murder mystery, kind of like Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And, yeah, this is not that. I don't really know how to describe that, but if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, I wouldn't read the book. Yeah. But that's what it's about, so it's up to you. I won't be doing a review for it or anything like that. I read it for some book clubs. Alright, moving on. The Merciless by Daniel Vega, which, from my understanding, it's about people sacrificing people to the devil, or people thinking that they're reviving people for God. It's one or the other. It's torture porn, and you know what? I'm curious to see how graphic it gets. It says, "Forgive us, Father, for how we have sinned," so it has something to do with religion. I'm watching a lot of that and reading a lot of that. Kind of makes me want to rate the second book in the Church of Samuel series. Not that I ever plan on posting those, but that's the urge I got. So we also have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuestion, which follows, I've explained it so many times on my channel, but you maybe have never been here. I'm also a little more cryptic, I'm sorry about that. But it follows Henry, Alex, and Henry. Alex is the son of the first female president. Henry is the Prince of Wales, I want to say. Yep, the Prince of Wales. And they fall in love over a journey of beautiful, like, a long time. A lot of people complain about the pacing for this. I absolutely love the pacing. A lot of also people complain that it covers so much time that you don't ever actually get to sit down with them for a second. And I also, that's something I very much love in a book, where it covers so many years of life that it's almost ridiculous. And that's what I strive for as a writer. Alright, so then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is a possibility of reading. I have 32 books on my list. This is not on a high priority, but it is a part of a new video that I'm going to link up above, or it's going to come out after this, and that is called, I'm going to throw a picture up here, the BookTube Mid-Year Bingo Board. And it's a readathon that I'm doing this month. It's just literally being announced, and anybody can participate and stuff. All you gotta do is have this board, and you play bingo with it. You can play bingo all the way through, and whoever you get the 5 of, you can read those 5 books. I'm doing it the hard way and playing bingo every book. So, new book, new bingo, basically. But yeah, so we have Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that's on this. I'm not really looking forward to this book. I'm not planning on reviewing it or anything, and so it's really just kind of weighed on me, and we'll see if we get to it. Moving on, we have the last Taylor Jenkins reads, which I'm really, really excited about, and this is Forever Interrupted. And I'll be starting this very soon. I'm very, very, very excited. And I have no idea what this is about, except that I really enjoyed Taylor Jenkins Reads Read. Now, Taylor Jenkins Reid, especially for this book in particular, there will be a full-on review, but it's going to be of the author, and it's going to be 7 books. That video is going to be a little bit long, as one can expect, as each book is going to have a mini review, partially spoilers if I remember them in case, and yeah, we're going to be ranking them, telling my opinion on the author, if I like them, if I read 7 books. You best believe the answer to that one. Then we have Home Before Dark, which I'm starting tonight, very, very excited about, and that is by Riley Sagar, and this is his newest novel, and this is a novel inside a novel. Supposedly, it's about, we read the novel that his father, or her father, wrote while they lived in a haunted house, and she has to move back to the haunted house for some reason. I think it's what it is. It's supposed to be paranormally, but also it could not be paranormally, so I'm not really sure. All I know, it's like one of my most anticipated reads. Also, with Riley Sagar, we'll be doing a Riley Sagar wrap-up as well, which is going to be talking about all of their personal releases. The first wrap-up you guys can expect for this month is, what is that? Karen Slaughter, which I talked about in my my June wrap-up. Next book is a book that was recommended to me by a friend who also is a booktuber. I'm going to channel down below. It's the Shauna, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adetti. And so Tommy Adetti, I've had this book since it came out. Like the day it came out and went out, and I got it because it's so gorgeous. Yeah, this was a cover buy, and then it like broke records. It was huge. It was on #1 or in the top 10 of New York Times. Right, the first like 30 weeks it was out. It was a big deal. This book was a big deal, and greatly so. It's great representation and so many things like that. This follows magic of the Lost Lands, and how she only has magic, or she could get magic, something like that. And I was told, because I did not really like the writing, I thought it was okay. Also, it's high fantasy, which I have a hard time reading in general, is to pick up the audiobook. So if I do get a chance to pick up extra audiobooks this month, this is on the high priority at the top of the list. Then we have the next quite a few books we're just going to be talking about. By the way, I do want to mention that this is only a period of them. Yeah, long video. So we have A Court of Mist and Theory by Sarah J. Maas, which is a sequel to Court of Thorns and Roses, which is the best way to describe that as girl gets kidnapped. Oh my god, it's like the Quill Prince. Yeah, honestly. I don't know, this follows the second one, and I'm curious. I've heard so many mixed things. But not about that one. Specifically about this one, A Court of Mist and Theory by Sarah J. Maas, which is the 3rd book. So, yeah, if I read this one, we're going to move on to this one. You get the point. And then, I'm only going to hold up one of them, and that is the Scythe Trilogy by Neil Schusterman. I am planning on picking up the Arc of Scythe this month. Like I said, I have 32 books, so this is a major hope. I'm trying to work through them as fast as humanly possible, okay? Just bear with me. I do have to read 14 more books. I did raise my goal to 200 because I was 40 books ahead, and I didn't feel any pressure to read. And now I have so much pressure to read that I'm just so excited. And we also have the rest of the Hunger Games trilogy. If I read Songbirds and Snakes, we're going to try to pencil those in as well. Alright, now let's talk about my second TBR, which, like I said, has a whole video where we're going to talk about these books in full. But just in case I did miss a few, because, you know, no one would be shocked if I did. Let's see here. Let me go to my greatly titled June TBR, when it should be July, but we're not going to judge me on that, not today. So we have quite a few books to go through. Oh, also Pistol Daisy by Natalia Lee. That was a great one. Highly recommend. I gave it like 4 stars. I did have some critiques and stuff, but most of that's based off of the actual book length itself. But yeah, I'll talk about more in the wrap up, obviously. So I'm going to read through a whole bunch of titles here, and you're just going to have to deal with me as we go through them. Where is... Did it not add it to the list? It must not have. Okay. Oh, I didn't add it. That's what it was. So we have Take It Till You Break It by Megan Brady, which is book 4. It's on that boardy thingy. I might just show a picture of the board. I don't really know. There's so many books to go over. So we have Crackling Land by Elizabeth Albacito, which is a part of many different, book clubs I'm a part of, kind of. But also, I want to read both of Elizabeth Albacito's 2 books. I love The Podex, one of my favorite books in the last decade or so. And so I'm really, really excited to read these. But I'm going to listen to these as audiobooks because most of them are written in verse, and also she narrates them, and I'm very excited for that. We have A Man Called Oh, City of Fallen Angels, Mortal Instruments, number 4. I am planning on finishing the Mortal Instruments series. I know I keep talking about how I was going to DNF this series. I talked about it in a few other videos because the 3rd one ended, and it ended okay. And I was like, I guess I don't need you anymore. And a lot of people have said the 2nd trilogy is much better than the 1st trilogy. So I'm excited to jump into books 4, 5, and 6, but also I'm more excited to read the other books that surround the Mortal Instruments. I want to finish that series, and then we'll just circle back around. I'm going to be reading a lot of them this year, so for the second half, so be prepared. We have Black Knight, Royal Elite, number 4, Sleepwalking by Meg Palliser, Kin by Keeling Patrick Blue, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, The Brown Sisters, Tell Your Heart. This is book 1. If I love book 1, I will be adding book 2 to the list. I'm curious to see how much I like the writing and stuff. I'm very excited for it, but we'll see. Normal People by Sally Rooney, Credence by Penelope Douglas, Thunderhead, we read through those. Oh, there it is. The Fire on High. Oh, Heartstoppers Volume 1, The Sundown Motel, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, lots of Sarah J. Maas, Firefly Lane by Christina Hanna, which I need to look and see if I own still, Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. So yeah, we're in for a wild ride. Most of these books don't have a review or anything on them, but we're in here. It's long. It's going to be a process. But I hope you guys are ready for it. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would love to know. And hit the subscribe button. Because, yeah, also, always, the videos that I'm going to be making this month based off this TBR, so don't ask for them in the comments. You can ask for any of them. Like, for instance, you guys want to know my initial reactions to both these. I can make a series review kind of thing. I kind of remember the first one. I'm not reading it. Or, for instance, Scythe. You want to know my whole entire opinions on those. You want a whole series review. Hunger Games series with the Audition series review. Let me know in the comments down below. But Home Before Dark will have a Riley Sager wrapped up this month, so don't worry about that one. And then Taylor Jenkins Reid. Don't worry about that one because we also are going to have a series wrap up either this month or the beginning of next month. I'm not really sure how many reviews I want to put in a month. But yeah, also they'll be popping up in our vlogs, so don't worry about that. But guys, I'll talk to you guys soon in another video soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.